Hi guys, welcome back to the Millennial CEO. It is so good to be back on here. I hope you are well. I hope you're safe, you and your family are safe. I hope you are staying positive and being productive. And I just hope you're doing really good. Today I want to talk about two things. One is, as the title of the video says, 5 YouTube channels I feel like every entrepreneur business person should be following. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the second thing first, which is digital decluttering. So, about last year, I felt like I was spending a lot of time on YouTube, on my phone, like a lot of us are, but I wasn't getting a lot out of my time online. So what I did is that I went particularly to YouTube. The phone I use has a feature called well-being, digital well-being, which showed me that most of my hours were being spent on YouTube. I went on my YouTube account, but before that I asked myself, what exactly do I want to be getting on each of the social media platforms that I'm on? So I did the same thing for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram, for LinkedIn. So I just went on all my platforms and decided to subscribe to or create the kind of feed that I want to see. So on YouTube, I went and unsubscribed to a lot of channels that I was just following for the sake of following. Because if you think about it, from the time you got on YouTube, you've subscribed to a lot of things. Some of the things you don't even watch anymore, and it makes you waste a lot of hours online. So I went and I said that I want YouTube to be an educational platform for me. I want to learn, and because I'm in business, I want to expand my thinking, and I want to also discover new creators that can help me with my business. So on YouTube, I do follow local content creators for the fun of it. But all of that, everyone I follow has an element to them that I like in terms of how they think. And also being a YouTuber, it's also helping me to create content for my channel and to also better my skills. But anyway, that I think everyone should absolutely be following is a YouTube channel called Valuetainment. So like the way you spell entertainment, but put value instead of enter. By a guy called Patrick Bett. So I bumped into him last year, and wow, I think the number one thing that I love about him is how he breaks down the content. He's a teacher. I think if he was doing other things in life, he would be a very good teacher. But so his channel, he's an American creator and businessman. And he does do a lot of content also on topical issues, about Trump and things like that. But all that aside, he has great business content. Like, I love his videos on sales, on how to be a better entrepreneur, about customer service, about what else? Sales mostly, entrepreneurship, thinking. And then the other thing that I really like about his channel is that he features a lot of business leaders and authors, people that are not super mainstream, people you probably know about if you've been keen on business, but they're not that mainstream. And even authors, for example, I was watching one of his videos with Robert Kiyosaki, one of the authors that I absolutely love. And that was just, there's reading someone's book and then there's listening to them speak, because his book was written, I think, in the 90s or something. So listening to, let's say, Kiyosaki's point of view on business and entrepreneurship, on wealth and money in 2020 or in 2019, that is value. So that's the number one channel, Valuetainment. Follow that one. The second YouTube channel that I think everyone should follow is a guy that I love. If you have been around me, then you have definitely heard this name, or if you follow me on any of my social media platforms, or if you have been in a coaching session with me, then this name has definitely come up. He's a South African business leader called Vusi Thembekwayo. So he has, I think, 3 channels. There should be one in his name, one for his business, which should be My Growth Fund South Africa, But anyway, what I love about this guy is when I was starting my journey and I was looking for African business people that I could follow and learn from, because we have a lot of examples with Warren Buffett, with Richard Branson, with all these people, but the African context and the African space of doing business is so different. So I was really looking for people I could follow and learn from locally. So he's one of the guys that I stumbled into. And I love, first of all, he's such a good storyteller. He is a global speaker, so of course. So he's a great storyteller. And then secondly, what I love is that he touches a lot. He understands small businesses and he's very passionate about them. So when he's explaining a business concept to you or trying to teach you something as an entrepreneur, he always gives examples from his local context, as an African, as someone who's grown a small business. So I love that about him. And the third thing that I love about him is that I think he's a former, I don't know if he still is, but he used to be a venture capitalist. So that means when he's talking to you about scaling your business, it's not, yes, he has done it, but there's also the fact that being a venture capitalist and being on the other end when you're investing in businesses, you know what you're looking for. He knows the kind of businesses he used to put money into. I think he was on a TV show, like the Shark Tank version in South Africa. I don't know if I know ours is Lion's Den. I don't know if theirs was Dragon's Den or something like that. But anyway, he's also a business author. I'm looking forward to reading his books. We're getting there. I have quite a pile. So the third YouTube channel that I think everyone should follow is CNBC Africa. Now, personally, I love news. And if there's a segment that I wish would be longer, is the business segment. But anyway, I also watch a lot of Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, and the likes. And I know they have segments, like Inside Africa on CNN, Quest Means Business. I know they have a lot of the segments, but I also stumbled onto CNBC Africa, and I wanted a channel that gave me more insight into businesses in Africa. So the reason I love CNBC is because, one, the way they cover their stories, the way it's done, and also some of them are just a lot of interviews, if we're being honest. But the fact that it gives you perspective, let me say that. And I feel like if you're running a business in Kenya, in Africa, anywhere, or as long as you're in the African space, on the African continent, you should expand your thinking and see how is, let's say, the market doing in Uganda? What are the new business policies they've set in Tanzania? Things like that. So that's a channel I think that everyone should follow. Once in a while, it's good to visit channels like that and just figure out, especially when you're trying to scale your business, you can't really, you can visit these countries, but before you get to that step of going on ground and meeting different people to set things up, there's some basic things, that you should do, which is know the basics about the country, about the economy, about the market, about how consumers think, about the spending there, and if we're being honest, in Africa, how is the politics in that country affecting business? So it's a great channel to follow. And the fourth YouTube channel that I absolutely love, I think it is even my number one, that I think everyone should follow, is this one, the Millennial CEO. If you've not been convinced so far in this video about why you should subscribe, then I don't know what else I can say, but I think you should subscribe. Anyway, the fifth channel, okay, this is not really a channel, but this is just a tip then that would cover my number 5. I feel like whatever industry you're in, you should follow channels within that industry. So for example, there's a channel that I was told about actually this week, because part of the things that I do are events. So it's called Wedding Planning Academy. So that's a YouTube channel that talks about event planning, different types of events and things like that. So for example, if you're in the event space, you should follow channels that teach you more about events and things like that. If you are in, what other channel do I like? Let me check my notes. If you like social media marketing, for example, or if you're in marketing and advertising like me, Gary V and people like that, those are channels you should follow. Other than just learning and all of that, a very good benefit of following channels within your industry is that it helps you see trends that are coming up. So for example, if I'm in marketing, like I'm in marketing right now, yeah, so I follow a bunch of channels that are also in marketing and digital and PR and things like that. They're trends that happen after the fact in Africa and Kenya. So when you're able to see how it's been implemented and executed in another continent, in another space, in another country, for example, it also gives you a heads up in your own industry. So I think whatever channel you're in, just search it on YouTube and then find channels, watch a few videos here and there, and subscribe to a few channels that are within your own industry. The sixth channel, no, I'm kidding, this is more of a bonus tip. I watch also a lot of content from Caroline Mutoko. I hope I said that right. So for anyone who is an entrepreneur in business, I would also recommend that you watch her series. I think it was called Amazing Women or something like that, but there's a series where she's interviewed a bunch of really cool women, and coincidentally most of them, a lot of them, are women who are running interesting businesses in different spaces. So I know I watched about the lady with the purple tea. I watched about the lady with the shoes, the sports shoes, Nike version of Kenyan version of Nike. So yeah, so that's also a great series to watch. Again, I recommend that series particularly because, again, if you're running a business, you generally, any business, but also if you happen to find entrepreneurs who are within your space within that series, it also gives you insight that you wouldn't have, because again, you can't be everywhere and experience everything by yourself. So learning from people who have been in your industry, people who have run a business in your country, is also a great way to learn and a faster way to learn. So that's also a bonus channel that I recommend. She has great content and the interviews are also very insightful. So if you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. As always, do let me know in the comment section if any of these channels you had subscribed to any of them or knew about them, or if you have some that you think I should check out. Please comment and let me know. I'm always looking for great entrepreneurship and business channels on YouTube to follow, or even other social media pages. If you think there's any that I should follow, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next video. I'm going to be doing a lot more business content in the next few weeks, and we're sticking to a video every week, so some really cool ideas are coming up. Stay tuned.